입은 물어 예.
She was only 18 when the decision was made for her. Amina still remembered the afternoon clearly, the heavy air in the courtyard, the way her mother avoided her eyes, the sound of her father's voice, firm and final. The words "it is settled" echoed in her ears long after the conversation ended. She had been promised into marriage to a man she had seen only twice, a man nearly 10 years older than her, a man whose life was already formed while hers had barely begun. That night, Amina cried quietly into her pillow, afraid that if she sobbed aloud, someone would hear and tell her she was being ungrateful. Everyone said it was for her good. Everyone said she would understand one day. But all she felt was fear, fear of the unknown, fear of losing herself, fear of becoming a stranger in her own life. Her wedding day arrived like a dream she couldn't wake from. The music was loud, the smiles around her forced and bright. Under the heavy red veil, her hands trembled. When she finally sat beside her husband, Adam, she barely dared to look at him. He was calm, serious, his movements slow and respectful, yet that did little to ease her racing heart. She expected impatience, coldness, maybe even anger. That was what fear had taught her to expect. The first weeks of marriage were the hardest. Amina spoke little, moving around the house like a guest who had overstayed her welcome. She woke early to finish chores before Adam rose, avoiding conversation whenever she could. At night, she lay stiffly on her side of the bed, eyes open, waiting for something terrible to happen. But it didn't. Adam never raised his voice. He never forced conversation or closeness. When he noticed her fear, he didn't mock it or dismiss it. Instead, he gave her space. If she flinched when he entered a room, he stepped back. If she fell silent at the dinner table, he changed the topic gently or let the quiet exist without pressure. One evening, noticing her untouched plate, he said softly, "You don't have to be afraid of me. I know this wasn't your choice." Those words startled her more than shouting ever could. She looked up, truly looked at him for the first time. There was no accusation in his eyes, no pride, only sincerity. "I won't hurt you," he added. "And I don't expect anything you're not ready to give." That night, Amina cried again, but this time, the tears were different. They were confused, heavy with relief she didn't yet know how to accept. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Slowly, routines formed. Adam encouraged her to continue her studies when others said it was unnecessary now that she was married. He asked her opinion before making decisions about the house. When relatives made jokes about her silence, he defended her calmly, saying, "She speaks when she's comfortable." Amina began to notice small things. The way Adam always brought fresh fruit when he returned from work because he remembered she liked it, the way he listened when she spoke, even if her words came out hesitant and unsure. He never laughed at her innocence or belittled her dreams. One rainy afternoon, while folding clothes together, Amina finally asked the question that had burned inside her for months. "Why are you so patient with me?" Adam paused, then answered honestly. "Because respect comes before love. And fear destroys both." Something shifted in her heart at that moment. The fear did not vanish overnight. There were still moments when memories of her forced wedding resurfaced, when resentment whispered that she had been robbed of choice. But alongside that pain grew something unexpected: trust. Amina started sharing small pieces of herself. She told Adam about her love for books, about the dreams she once had of becoming a teacher. He listened as if these dreams mattered, as if she mattered. He began asking her to join him on evening walks, never holding her hand unless she reached for his first. The first time she did, her fingers brushed his, hesitant and unsure. Adam didn't tighten his grip. He simply let their hands rest together, light and warm. Her heart raced, not with fear this time, but with something unfamiliar and tender. Over time, laughter found its way into their home. Shared jokes, late-night conversations, quiet understanding. Amina realized one day that she no longer counted the hours Adam was away. She waited for his return, not out of duty, but out of longing. Love, when it arrived, did not announce itself loudly. It came quietly, wrapped in patience and respect. It grew from safety, from being seen and valued. One evening, as they sat on the rooftop watching the sky darken, Amina spoke words she had never planned to say. "I was so afraid of you." Adam smiled sadly. "I know. But now," she continued, voice steady, "I'm not." He turned to her then, eyes searching her face. "That matters more to me than anything else." Amina understood then that love wasn't always born from passion or choice. Sometimes, it was built, carefully, gently, through understanding and time. She had entered marriage as a frightened girl, carrying resentment and fear. She was becoming a woman who knew her worth, who was learning that respect could heal wounds, and that patience could turn even the most painful beginnings into something beautiful. Her journey was not perfect. But it was real. And in that reality, she found something she never expected, love that did not cage her, but allowed her to grow.